The Turkish government has reportedly asked its American counterparts to deploy a pair of Patriot surface-to-air missile system batteries along its southern border with Syria. This news came amid the announcement of the death of 2 Turkish troops and the wounding of 5 more in an airstrike in northwest Syria. Bloomberg was the first to report the Turkish request for U.S. Patriot batteries on February 20th, 2020. It's to be noted that last year, Turkey chose the Russian S-400 air defense system in place of American-made Patriot, ignoring the warning of the U.S. and NATO. Turkish President Erdogan was quoted by NTV as saying, "One S-400 is worth 3 Patriots. If the conditions are even equal to the S-400 deal, we would buy Patriots. But if they are not, then we have to think of our interests." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Turkey is requesting for American-made Patriot air defense system after asserting that Russian S-400 is 3 times better. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account. The request comes as Turkish-backed militants in Syria, with direct support from Turkish artillery, have staged a major operation against forces aligned with Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad in the country's northwest Idlib province. Russia subsequently said that it had, at the request of Syrian leader Assad, sent Su-24 Fencer combat jets to conduct airstrikes on rebel positions. The Turkish Defense Ministry has blamed the Syrian government for the airstrikes that killed its troops, though there's also evidence the Russian Su-24s were responsible. Turkey is now reportedly seeking the deployment of American Patriot batteries to deter future airstrikes in areas which are under its de facto control in northern Syria. The system could also be used to provide an extra layer of protection for its own aircraft that will be carrying out missions in that area. As of now, it's unclear if Turkey asked the United States for the extra air defenses directly or did so through the channel available to it, being a member of NATO. Viewers may note that the Turkish government has requested and secured the deployment of foreign Patriots, including from the United States, through the alliance on multiple occasions in the past. The most recent instance was in 2013, when the Syrian regime was employing Scud and other short-range ballistic missiles against rebels, and there were possibilities that some of these could land inside Turkey by mistake. During that time, Spanish Patriot batteries, which were of Patriot PAC-2 variants, were deployed at Incirlik Air Base and are present to this day. The Patriot missile system, manufactured by Raytheon, is an air defense system designed to protect against different kinds of aerial threats. It entered service in 1981. The Patriot system has 4 major operational functions: communications, command and control, radar surveillance, and missile guidance. The 4 functions are designed to work seamlessly to provide a coordinated, secure, integrated, mobile air defense system. Different variants of Patriot systems have been sold to many countries, like the Netherlands, Poland, Germany, Japan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, to name a few. The Patriot system is expected to remain in service until at least 2040. The eye of the Patriot air defense system is the AN/MPQ-65 radar, which is used to detect and track targets. The AN/MPQ-65 radar is a passive electronically scanned array radar. It's equipped with IFF, identification, friend or foe, and electronic countermeasure to resist jamming. The radar has a range of around 100 miles or 160 kilometers. The PAC-2 missile is 5.8 meters or 19 feet 0 inches long, weighs around 900 kilograms or 2,000 pounds, and is propelled by a solid-fueled rocket motor. It has a range of 45 miles or 70 kilometers and can reach a maximum altitude of 15 miles or 24 kilometers. Patriot PAC-3 introduced the new MIM-104F missile, which is also referred to as the PAC-3 missile. It has reduced size compared to previous Patriot missiles and is more maneuverable. The missile uses a hit-to-kill strategy, though it has a small, high-fragmentation warhead to enhance the kill probability. For aerial targets like aircraft and drones, Patriot MIM-104F missile has an engagement range of 160 kilometers, whereas for ballistic missile, it has a range of about 30 kilometers. The United States and Turkey were at loggerheads since July of last year, when the first components of the Russian S-400 missile defense system started reaching Turkey from Russia. There are three main reasons for the opposition of S-400. 1. NATO as an organization likes to have interoperability, so the Russian system will be out of place and reduce tactical flexibility. 2. When Turkey operates the jets in the airspace, which is monitored by S-400, S-400 will be able to gather technical data, such as radar signature of the F-35s. This could potentially pass onto Russian hands and could undercut the main advance of F-35s. That's stealth. 3. S-400 could be hooked to Turkish air defense as part of an integrated air defense setup. This could be a major security breach, as having the S-400 linked into Turkish defense networks could potentially give Russian analysts access to sensitive information that passes through the cloud-based multinational Autonomic Logistics Information System (ALIS) system of the F-35s. ALIS has critical mission data and flight routes. The relation between the U.S. and Turkey vitiated when the U.S. dropped Turkey from the F-35 program, and President Erdogan expressed interest in Russian Su-57 fighters. Russian and Turkish news outlets reported that Mr. Putin led Erdogan to Su-57, which is developed by Sukhoi, at the annual MAX 2019 air show in Zhukovsky International Airport outside Moscow. According to the Associated Press, Erdogan looked into the cockpit of the Su-57 and asked whether it was available for sale. Mr. Putin is said to have smiled and said, "Yes, you can buy it." Turkish president has recently threatened to close down 2 U.S. military bases in Turkey. The 2 bases are in Incirlik and Kurasik. Erdogan said during a TV interview, "If necessary, we'll close Incirlik and Kurasik. If the threat of sanctions is implemented against us, we'll respond to them in the framework of reciprocity." This move comes at a time when there's an increasing probability of American President Donald Trump approving sanctions against the country. Incirlik is believed to house roughly 50 nuclear bombs. President Erdogan's decision of conducting military operations in Syria has opened several fault lines. Russia has made its stance clear that it will keep backing the Assad regime. A strong Turkish intervention will most likely result in a pushback by Russia on behalf of its ally. Russia has stated a Turkish offensive against Syrian forces in Idlib would be the worst scenario. Kremlin press secretary Dmitry Peskov said, "If we are talking about an operation against the legitimate authorities of the Syrian Republic and armed forces of the Syrian Republic, this would, of course, be the worst scenario." Turkey's now in a catch-22 situation, where its relation with U.S. and NATO has gone downhill and Russia is not giving it free hand in Syria. In this crunch situation, it's having to knock the doors of Washington and ask for Patriot missile system, which it rejected just a few months ago. It remains to be seen how things pan out in the coming days.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.